All right, so that was Tagore's educational practice. We saw how Tagore founded Shantiniketan, and he embodied his educational philosophy for, promoting arts, culture, nature, everything, right? Now we move to another famous personality, that is Vivekananda. Okay, so what does Vivekananda say? Can somebody tell me? Very much the similar ones.
Education as manifestation of the perfection already in man, Vivekananda.
Okay, education as manifestation of the perfection. Already the person has actually felt that way. So that means we have already manifested that. So how do I put that? So what is manifestation, first of all? You think that it has happened. That is manifestation, right? So say suppose in case if you want to get first rank, you manifest that you already got first rank and you're enjoying that. And through that hardships of everyday's thinking, yes, I have already got my first rank. The more you actually are saying that, you are trying to manifest that particular thing also in a very kind way. If at all, if you see, there are a lot of manifestation lessons also that you can actually take it up. So it's an individual process. You should have a potential and you should have that virtue. Only then you will be able to manifest. So he also says Vivekananda is a spiritual leader, correct? Not only a spiritual leader, but he also viewed education as a manifestation so that I can, perfectly take whatever is required for my inheritance. So if you remember, he started a school, correct? So that was a Ramakrishna Mission school. So this school had a lot of preachings and teachings by Vivekananda's principles itself. It was more on character building, more on spiritual growth. They also had yoga and meditation in the class. So not much of difference between Tagore's way of teaching and Vivekananda's principles, but both of them had a good balanced development towards children's ethics and moral values and other things. Okay. Apart from that, not much of differences in the educational practices, but the schools were different. One is Ramakrishna Mission School. That is what he actually started. So that was Vivekananda's. So these all are the famous personalities, correct? So, and it was all related to their definitions. It is not that we have given the definitions. It was according to them. See how beautifully each one actually said that. Now I'm going to put back to each one of you. Who was the famous personality that you like? I'm putting everybody onto gallery mode. You can look into your books also. Don't give me why, just tell me who. Lakshmi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you liked which educator? Acha, no worries. Okay, anybody wants to say who's the person who actually inspired you? Right from Aristotle to Vivekananda.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so Mahatma Gandhi. So what is the tip for us to remember for Mahatma Gandhi? Body, mind, soul. Okay, so always remember the trick. Okay, who's the next person?
Dayananda Saraswati.
Dayananda Swami. Okay, so Dayananda Swami, as soon as you say Dayananda Swami, you have to remember it's all about the character development. So anything which is related to how to form your character. Yes, next person. I'm going a little deeper is because one statements they ask you a question and you need to elaborate and write on them. That's the reason. Okay. Yes.
Education is noble thought.
Whole body, ma'am.
Noble thought. Rigveda.
No, definition mat do. Naam bolo.
Rigveda.
Huh? Rigveda. Okay.
Ah.
Okay. Rigveda. Vedas are wonderful. So you can actually take. So
I don't
anything
know.
which is a noble thought. So you can
I
take on that
The
and you can.
person name.
What is the
But
person
whole
name?
body, ma'am. Whole body. Person
Whole
name.
body. Sound mind in a sound body. Aristotle.
Hmm.
Beautiful saying that is. You have to be healthy only then. Niveta?
Communicus.
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 Okay. Development of the
Whole
entire
body.
personality. Communicus. Yes. Test yourself. Are you able to relate it? What did he say? Always remember. Next. Each one should have one person, no? As an inspiration. Lina? Amina?
Ma'am, I told Mahatma Gandhi.
Oh, you said a Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. Lina?
Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore.
Okay. So what was Tagore's principles? You have to stay in harmony.
I think he's a philosopher who got a Nobel Prize for his
Correct.
literature.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he was the one who got a lot of
He
changes into education also. So
Yeah.
we can always remember that arts and music, so many things, right? So that's also good.
Mm.
So lovely. Okay, so we had to see so many wonderful personalities. I think we had close to around 15 or something. How many people in total?
17.
17. Please, every day make it a point that you read these lines. Every day make it a point, because the more you connect, the more it becomes easier for you to remember, because this is one of the trickiest chapter. They can pick any one line and they can ask you to elaborate. Even they can ask you to elaborate on Spencer's principles, how education can be thoughtfully made for a complete living. Can you elaborate on this saying? Then what would you say? How Rigvedas are considered to be as one of the educative methodologies. What was Ramakrishna Swami's principle towards education? What did Pestalozzi think? How could he develop children's mind into innate powers? So when people ask you questions like that, we should always be prepared onto it. So definitely make smaller points on each one's principles, and it will definitely help you onto it. Okay. From there, it takes you to now differentiate. Now see, all these are informal education. So somebody is preaching you and you're taking all of that. It is not formal education. So we never went to schools. But what happened in informal is, it's all the behind the process. We did not have a name. We did not know who was our teacher. We did not do a course, right? We did not learn in a systematic way. Whatever you liked, you took it and you practiced that for the lifelong process. So say, for example, like waking up at 4 o'clock, nobody taught you. If you have learned it from something, you are waking up at 4 o'clock till today. Like say my husband, he wakes up at 3:30 every day in the morning. Be it Sunday, Saturday, holiday, some function day, whatever it is, 3:30 he will get up. Who has taught him? We don't know. It's a lifelong process that I've actually seen. Sometimes I go to bed at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, and 1 hour he wakes up already. His night is already over. So what happens there was like nobody thought something, but consciously your body is waking you up, right? So you're being natural to that particular thing. So you're not straining anything. Your body natural clock would alarm you and you would wake up. But when you practice this consistently, it happens. So were these the rules formed by you or was given by anyone? No, you form these rules for your own self. I have to be like this. I have to wake up at this time. I have to do this particular work. All these are informal education. We don't have a course for this. People can take it up from anyone. People can take it up from anyone. Say somebody goes on a walk every day. No matter what it is, you have to walk. Otherwise, they'll go mad. Lala ma'am, she will go mad if she cannot walk. 1 hour she has to walk. Be it morning, afternoon, night, she needs that 1 hour specific her time. She needs to walk. See, that is all informal education, but it is helping me to become fit. I'm being a healthy body. All these are informal. What is my formal education? I have a period wherein I have to sit down and do yoga for 30 minutes. You have to do all the 19 asanas I give you, you do that. That's formal. Who did that? Maybe it's a government school, maybe it's a private school, or maybe it is your managing committee who actually laid down those rules because the child should become fit in the school. So you have PT teachers, the school has organized, the institution has organized, you have a course, you have a period, 30 minutes you have to finish. And who's teaching your PT teacher comes and teaches you all that. And it starts at a particular time, ends at a particular time. So, is there a mental strain on the teacher and the child? Definitely, yes. The teacher is also stressed. I have to finish this portion. The child is also stressed. I have to go to school, but I cannot do this hasana. But what do I do? There is a lot of stress over there also. So, formal education puts a lot of mental strain to children. But informal education, it's not like that. You can't do it in the morning. You know you will do it. But when in the day, according to your leisure, you do that. So formal education, lot of rules. Informal educations, we don't have any rules. So given all of that, what do we actually work here is like, you need to draw the best. So that means the teacher has considered to be as the guru, no matter which era that you are there. The digital gadgets cannot replace a human being. So we always tell children, teachers, you need to assume them as gurus. And as teachers, you should also understand your children thoroughly. It's not that you take that high stake that I am the guru and the child is going to listen to me. No, we understand our responsibility and you also understand every child thoroughly. When you become that way, you also become a friend to your child. You're also presenting your high standard behavior. You're presenting so well in front of the child that your conduct is also good enough. Not only that, teachers, what is more important is the knowledge on the subject. Okay, all these are your educative processes. Okay, all these are your educated processes. Okay, now if you open your books, okay, now if you open your books, let me also open, yeah. So page 84 is what we actually saw all these people's education, correct? We saw all these 17 people's education. From there is what you actually went into the differences. You saw amazing differences. Whatever I spoke, is it there? Yes. So no organized, no aim is there, no course is there, correct? So it's a lifelong process. You do it naturally. These are all your informal education. Formal education is always by government or private schools or institutions. You have a course, you have a time period, you have a this thing. There is a teacher who comes. There is a lot of stress and the strain for the teacher. Correct? So, keeping this in mind, I would move to my other parts of it. So, what is my educative process here? This is what I was talking at. Teachers are considered to be as gurus. You don't think you're a guru, but you have to also understand your student properly. When you understand your child properly, you become a friend to the child. Not the hi-bye friend, a friend who can guide the child. This is what you do, you become this. When you are guiding the child in the rightful way, you're also presenting your high standard of behavior, the conduct in front of the child. When you are fighting in front of the child, what is your behavior? What is your conduct? When you're scolding another child in front of another one, what is that behavior? That is also not accepted. So teachers should always present high standards of behavior. Coming to the next one, you should have deep knowledge. Correct? So give a good environment to the child so that the child will go and imitate. When the teacher is kind, the child will also be kind. The teacher should also give a lot of work to the children. Encourage good techniques. You also learn the new adaptable things in your classes. All these are my educative processes. Do I do this in my primary education? Yes, we do it in our primary education. But there is also something that I have to consider. When children are from 2 to 6 years, rapid growth happens. Not only that, there is something called as prenatal education. What is prenatal education? Before the child is born. Postnatal education after the child is born. Right? So between this prenatal and postnatal, the child is there from zero, almost like from the time of conception till the time of birth. From the time of birth to the time of the child joins the school. This period from the conception till the birth is called prenatal. From the birth till the time he joins the school is called the postnatal. From there, the child comes to school and that's your preschool education. So your education is not something that has to start from school, but it has to start from your prenatal time. You talk kindly to your child even after during the time of your conception. You can read books to your child. You can connect very well with your child. So that is what they actually say. When the child comes to school, it's primary. From there, the child goes to other things, yeah, other classes. So we understand about these three aspects of the prenatal and other things. And coming down to here, what happens here? Say, suppose in my formal education, now we see here about the different perceptions. See, this chapter is more on people's perceptions, what different people think, how exactly we need to educate children. Okay, so it might be a little confusing, but you need to read this chapter every day. Okay. For example, like say, suppose when my children are from 2.5 to 4 years, according to Austin AD, he says, yes, they are into pre-primary. But what is his principle is, he says, children need lot of physical development, especially when they are between 2.5 to 4 years. Why? Because their muscles are growing, they're becoming stronger, they're becoming better in their moving. From walking, they learn to run, they learn to hop, they learn to jump. That means they are developing their muscles. So for development of the muscles, you definitely need extensive play, correct? So for that, what he says is children should go outside. Open air education should be there. You have to have ground so that the child can actually go outside and play. If you don't have that facility, take them outside. When the child is playing so much, they should also have a good diet. That is one. Second thing, intellectual development. One is physical development. One is intellectual development. One is social and moral development. One is psychological development. This is by Austin AD. Very, very important question. Every year it has come. What is Austin AD's principles of education? He divides the entire pre-primary education into 4 parts. Physically, the child should be active. Intellectually, the child should be active. Socially, morally, he should be taken care. Psychologically, the child should be good enough. Okay. What is socially, morally? No dependence. He should not be so dependent on the parent. He should know he should come to school. After finishing the school, he needs to know he has to go back home. So socially, he connects. Morally, is good enough. Psychologically, independent, the child is. Right? He doesn't hurt anyone. So these are the 4 parameters that we look here according to Austin's principles. According to Miss Grace Owen, we still have principles. She divides this into 6 parts. She says, first, what is important to the child? Good light, sunshine, space, and fresh air. Second thing, the child should be happy, healthy, regular life of a child is medical supervision. Health has to be given importance to. Then she also says personal habits. Taking care every day, taking bath, brushing the teeth, that is also very important. Personal habits. Coming down to the next thing, working and playing is important. Imaginative plays are important. Then she says, okay, unity of home life. The child should connect very well with their parents. So this is again important according to Miss Grace Owen. These are some of the questions which is like for sure. We don't know which one they might ask, Grace Owen and other things, but these are some of the questions that which will come for sure. Okay, I stop today's class over here. In the next week, we would be continuing with the Indian Education Commission. We would see about the other lessons on this particular. Okay, so thank you so much. I will see you. I'll connect you a little later. Have a great weekend. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good
Thank
day.
you, ma'am.
Thank you all.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I too wrote one quote like that 17. Ma'am,
Please tell me.
education is like an air and everyone deserves to breathe it.
Education is like an air, and I'm noting it
And
down. And
everyone deserves to breathe it.
everyone deserves to breathe it.
Niveta.
Niveta, bye Niveta. Okay, Niveta, you want to elaborate a little bit more on the analogy? Why did you write like that?
But
Because it's really nice to see, ma'am. Everyone is telling their point of view. I also want to mention like everyone deserves the equal education. So that's why I wrote that quote, ma'am.
Well, wonderful. See, these are the key aspects of the saying. When you start believing in something, you will start finding out your own ways of doing. She was more on giving equal education to everyone. So that was related to equity, ensuring that every child, every individual have the equal access to education. And she is also believing that I will give equal opportunities also. So what happens there? Is it a lifelong learning process? Maybe. And is it that a continuous process she will evolve? Definitely yes. She also added something related to air. Air is something that we definitely need it. Now, what if the air is polluted? What if the air is polluted? Just think. What if the system is polluted? What if the teachers are, I don't say polluted, toxic teachers? They don't encourage, they don't give opportunities. So she said, it is something, an equal opportunity you give. There's equalism. But again, she says it's the air that we breathe in. What kind of air do you give? It has to be breathable. That means it has to be high quality air. So
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, you should put this quote, Niveta, by Niveta. Wonderful. See,
Thank you,
you
ma'am.
can decode it so
I'm
very
also
well. Yeah, you can always decode it so good, and it's a lifelong thing. Yeah, I'm seriously in love with this quote, and you can always
Ma'am.
link back to your constitutional
Thank you,
fundamental
ma'am.
rights. Fundamental rights. Very good. Air is available. See, and one more thing, what you can also relate, Niveta, is
Yes,
if
ma'am.
if you take on the universal aspect, I can go study anywhere. I can go study anywhere. The second thing is I can live anywhere. I can also live anywhere.
Yes.
But what is important for me to live anywhere? Air,
Okay. Yes.
right? The basic
Air.
elements, water, air, I need these, right? So when
Yes,
you
ma'am.
put that as the universal necessity, you put I, that word air, no, you can put it into anywhere. It's freely available. Air is freely available. So they say, no, yardu sottalla idu. It is nobody's. It is available to everyone. It's really accessible to everyone. So education can also be accessible to everyone, just like how air is freely accessible. No matter
Yes,
of
ma'am.
what background they come, no matter what geographical location they come, no matter what socio-economical status that they actually come, everybody has the opportunity to learn. Okay, so I have to really applaud you, Niveta. That was a
Thank
brilliant
you.
statement. I have noted it down. It says, okay, by Niveta, education is like
Thank
an
you. Bye.
air and everyone deserves to breathe it. Beautiful, beautiful.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
also open.
Yes, tell me, I'll write yours also. Yes, tell me, dear.
Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.
Most powerful weapon, okay,
Okay.
to
Which
change,
you can use to change the world.
which you can
Which you use
use,
to
okay,
change
which
the
you can
world.
use to change the world. Okay, so what do you mean by this?
Education weapons is we have, but when any some situations is there, weapons is don't use every time. You need education, but when the need is there, you used to. There is all I will mention, but we have I think woman is there. Education is must. We use some many more
But don't you
tasks is
think
in
that
life.
don't you think that it is related to the African revolutionary statement? If you remember Nelson Mandela, even he also used the same thing, right? So just use the education as a powerful tool so that you can actually change. So it's all related to your exploration. See, now without you knowing, you're saying that, I can use it like a weapon. How strongly you
Yes.
connected to what Nelson Mandela actually contributed. We're
Okay.
all here advocates. You learn something, you advocate it, you follow it, you take that and you do that. There's no wrong in taking anybody's statement. If you believe his statement is good and if you still think I can use this, Divya ma'am, I can implement this particular thing, no matter of whatever is the status, like how Niveta said, I take up that initiative, I use this as my tool or a weapon. You can definitely go ahead and do that. Even many organizations follow Mandela's initiatives like UNESCO, various NGOs, they always take up that. It's more on vocational trainings. Good, good. Any more? Your statements. Yes, yes.
Ma'am, one doubt.
Please
Do we
tell me.
need to make notes for this theory part, ma'am?
Not required. It's according to you. You can actually go and mark it. So wherever we are
Oh.
learning something, you can underline in your books. Whatever is difficult, you can expand it and you can get the elaborated version of it. That should
Okay.
help. You don't have to make notes. You can read through it, read the chapter once or twice, answer the questions, always look back. Follow that principle of 3 days, 10 days, 15 days, 3 months revision pattern. You should be able to do that. Okay? Yes. Any more statements? Any more powerful statements? Amina? Lina? No worries. Okay. So that was your learning. And yeah, a wonderful quote to end with. Both of them have really come up with different things, like education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. We leave you to think on that. Education is like an air and everywhere, everyone deserves to breathe it. As said by Niveta, we leave it over here. You anticipate what is this analogy? How can I explain it furthermore? How can I adapt it in my classroom? How can I implement it? What could be my learning outcome from that? How do I teach children with examples? Come up with your own strategies and impact the education. Okay. Having said this, I would like to say a goodbye to today's session. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.